Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's time to call this meeting of the San Felipe Del Rio CISD Board of Trustees to order. This is a regular meeting, today being Monday, February 24, 2025. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Overfelt, would you call roll for us?
Yes, sir. Ms. Luna Chavez,
Present.
Mr. Almaraz,
Present.
myself, Mr. Mesa,
Here?
Mr. Galindo,
Not here.
Ms. Haynes,
Here.
Ms. Webb.
Present.
Sir, you have a quorum?
Peggy Chavez? Yes. Thank you. Let the record show that we do have a quorum of board members and that this meeting was duly called in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. At this time, we will have opening ceremonies, first with the moment of silence for personal reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Thank you again for being here tonight. First order of business we have on our agenda is recognitions. Item 4, recognition of San Felipe Del Rio CISD Board of Trustees in honor of School Board Recognition Month. Sandra Hernandez. Garcia.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. Each year, we join the 1,200 school districts across Texas to honor our school board members. Texas School Board Appreciation Month was scheduled for January, but due to that inclement weather, we are honoring our board members today. We know that you work tirelessly to oversee the operation of our public school system and ensure that our students are getting a high-quality education. The 2025 theme for School Board Recognition Month is Leadership for Tomorrow's Texas. To acknowledge the work of school trustees, Governor Greg Abbott issued a proclamation designating January as School Board Recognition Month. School board members play an integral role in promoting a lifelong love of learning in the next generation. The proclamation states, this evening, our school representatives will have a small opportunity to show our trustees how much we appreciate your work, your time, your dedication, your leadership, and your commitment to improving our schools for tomorrow. At this time, I'd like to welcome the order of our campuses, beginning with Irene Cardwell Elementary.
Good evening. On behalf of Irene C. Cardwell, Head Start families, children, and faculty, we want to take the time to thank you for your devotion to our district. Our children who have the smallest hands in our district lovingly made some flowers for you with their handprints. We want you to recognize and remember that your meaningful decisions help us grow. Thank you.
Thank you.
We now have Buena Vista Elementary.
Good evening, board members. My name is Daniela Rodriguez, and I'm the Student Council President at Buena Vista Elementary. I just want to take a moment to thank all of you, our amazing school board members and superintendent, for all you do. I know it's not always easy to have so many eyes on you and so many opinions to consider, but your hard work, long evenings, and important decisions make such a big difference in our lives. Because of you, we have great teachers, unique opportunities, and fun classrooms where we can learn and grow. We might not always see the work that goes on behind the scenes, but we definitely feel the results. Thanks to you all, we have the chance to reach our goals and make our community proud. It's clear that you truly care about our schools and all students, and that means the world. You are helping to shape our futures, and we are all so grateful for everything you do to make our district a better place. From all of us at Buena Vista, thank you for your dedication and love for SFDR CISD. We promise to keep making the most of all the amazing opportunities you've helped create for us. Thank you again for everything. You truly make a difference, and we are lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Sinisa Hills.
Hello, my name is Camila Jurado, and I am the Student Council President at Sinisa Hills Elementary. These are my fellow officers. On behalf of Sinisa Hills Elementary students, staff, and families, we would like to take a moment to say thank you to each of you. Because of you, we have better classrooms, fun activities, and so many cool things to learn. You make sure our school is a safe and happy place. We really appreciate everything you do for us. Thanks to your hard work and dedication, we get to have teachers and staff who care about us and the chance to explore new things every day. It feels good knowing that you're all there to support us. So thank you for making our school a place where we can grow and learn, and for leading tomorrow's Texas.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have the representatives from Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary.
Good evening, Dr. Rios and the members of the board. My name is Esteban Javier Martinez, and I'm the Dr. Lonnie Green Stuco Vice President. With me this evening is my fellow officer, Santiago Cadro, Student Council Historian. It is an honor to stand here before you on behalf of Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary. On behalf of our principal, Ms. Flores, and our assistant principal, Ms. Zuniga, we want to express our sincere appreciation for the incredible work and dedication of our board members. As we know, our schools are the heart of our community, and you are the backbone that supports and strengthens our schools. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
On behalf of Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary, we want to extend our most sincere thanks to each board member. Thank you for all the countless hours you put in to make our district shine. Together, we'll make a difference in many lives. We're truly grateful. Thank you.
We now recognize the representatives from Roberto Bobby Barrera Elementary.
Good evening, Dr. Rios, President Meza, Vice President Overfelt, and all of our school board members. My name is Zoe Holter. I'm Roberto Bobby Barrera Elementary's Student Council Vice President. This is our Secretary, Amelia Music. Recently, our campus got new desks and awnings. The new desks provide us with the space to keep all of our needed supplies in to help us succeed in school. The awnings provide us protection from the weather and allows our police officer to have a cooler spot to watch over our campus.
We thank you for actively listening to our campus needs and bringing a solution to some of the problems we've had. You are positive role models for our Stuco officers to follow in your lead. Thank you for taking on tireless hours to tackle the big obstacles needing attention in our district. We are truly thankful for your service and care to put into decisions for our community.
As a token of our appreciation, we are presenting you, Dr. Rios, and the board with a photo of our school as a reminder of the enhancements you had a part in making. Thank you for the improved security to our campus and the awnings to protect us from the weather.
Thank you.
We now welcome the representatives from Ruben Chavita Elementary.
Good evening, President Mesa, board members, and Dr. Rios. My name is Taylor Ortiz, and I'm the president of the Ruben Chavita Elementary Student Council.
And I am Patricio Bajardo, secretary. We would like to take this opportunity to express our deepest gratitude to our amazing school board. Your tireless efforts, unwavering commitment, and leadership make the irredeemable difference in the lives of our students, educators, and community. Throughout this month, we celebrate your leadership and the sacrifices you make to serve on the school board. Your contributions go far beyond attending meetings and making policy decisions. You are advocated for our schools, champions for public education, and mentors to the next generation of leaders.
Today, we offer this token of appreciation to thank you for the time, effort, and passion you dedicate into ensuring we receive a high-quality education. We are grateful for your ongoing support, collaboration, and commitment to fostering a brighter future for tomorrow's Texas. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
We now welcome Garfield Elementary.
Superintendent Dr. Rios, President Mesa, and honorable members of the board. Good evening. We are the Mighty Mustangs from Garfield Elementary, and we are thrilled to have the opportunity to express our gratitude for your unwavering dedication and leadership. We present this poem to honor your commitment to spicing up leadership, seasoned for tomorrow's Texas success. Here's to the leaders who guide our way with wisdom and vision day by day. You spice up our schools with care and zest, ensuring our future is set for success. Spicing up leadership, seasoned for tomorrow's Texas success, captures the heart of all you express. Like chefs with recipe tried and true, you mix dedication with dreams anew.
With patience you stir the pot of change, making sure every stone can find their range.
lending courage, hope, and steadfast care. You nurture futures beyond compare. Your leadership seasoned with hope and grace helps build tomorrow's Texas a brighter place. For college careers and futures untold, you craft opportunities bold and gold. So here's our thanks in spices and cheer for the board that leads with hearts sincere. Garfield students are grateful today for your guidance that lights our way. You're the flavor in Texas success stew, blending courage and care in all that you do. Thank you, trustees, for the paths you pave, preparing leaders who inspire and save. Thank you.
Thank you.
We now welcome the representatives from Dr. Fermin Calderon Elementary.
Good evening, members of the school board, teachers, staff, students, and guests. My name is Ethan Torres, Dr. Fermin Calderon Elementary Student Council President. Today, I stand before you to express our gratitude and appreciation for all that you do for our school and our community. You are the ones who help shape the policies that guide our education, ensure we have the resources we need, and make decisions that support our growth and well-being.
Good evening. I am Hunter Saceda, Dr. Fermin Calderon, Student Council Vice President. Thank you for all you do. Your commitments to making our school better, safer, and more enriching does not go unnoticed.
Hello, I am Lydia Narvaez, DOC Student Council Secretary. Thank you for your leadership, your passion for education, and your unwavering support. You inspire us to reach our full potential, and we are grateful for everything you do. Thank you from Dr. Fermin Calderon Elementary Student Council.
Thank you.
Next, we introduce Lamar Elementary.
Good evening, Dr. Rios and distinguished members of the school board. My name is Miranda Ponce, and I am the president of Lamar Student Council.
My name is Luis Ramirez, and I'm the vice president.
My name is Santiago Perez, and I'm the historian and treasurer.
My name is Anastasia Sandifer, and I am the secretary. While thinking of a role you have as a school board member, we came across this quote.
Donde hay un árbol que plantar, plántalo tú. Donde hay un error que enmendrar, enmiéndralo tú. Donde hay un esfuerzo que todos esquivean, hazlo tú, sé tú el que aparta la piedra del camino. By Gabriela Mistral.
What that means is, where there's a tree to plant, plant it yourself. Where there's a mistake to amend, amend it yourself. Where there's an effort that everyone avoids, do it yourself. Be the one who removes the stone from the road.
For us, that means that if no one is brave enough to do it yourself. Thank you for making important decisions that impact us on a daily basis. Thank you for advocating for our teachers and for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We move on to our secondary schools. We invite San Felipe Memorial Middle School.
Good evening, school board members and Dr. Rios. I'm Ella Farah, Student Council President. This is Royce Hunt, Vice Student President. This is Elijah, Parliamentarian. This is Gabriel, Treasurer. This is, oh my God, I forgot. Braden, Historian. On behalf of SFMMS, we thank you for your dedication and service to our students and school district. In honor of your service, a book has been purchased for our campus library in your name. Thank you for your service as an example of leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you, San Felipe.
Thank you.
We next welcome the representatives from Del Rio Middle School.
Good evening, Mr. Mesa, Dr. Rios, and school board trustees. My name is Kayla Garcia, and I am proud to serve as the student council president at Del Rio Middle School, and I am a student athlete and UIL competitor.
I'm Major Garcia, and it is truly an honor to be here with you this evening representing our 7th grade class. I'm also honored to be a student athlete and UIL competitor.
And I am Miranda Cieniga, representing our 8th grade class, and am also a student athlete and a member of the National Junior Honor Society.
One of the greatest presidents in United States history, a visionary leader and advocate for progress, President John F. Kennedy once said, "Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other."
These words reflect his belief that effective leadership requires a commitment to lifelong learning.
Without a strong foundation in education, future leaders cannot emerge.
On behalf of the staff and students at Del Rio Middle School, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for your dedication, not only to your own growth as leaders, but also to fostering our growth as the leaders of tomorrow.
Thanks to your unwavering commitment, we are inspired to strive for excellence and pursue our full potential.
We deeply appreciate your efforts in ensuring we receive a high-quality education, have access to outstanding teachers to guide our learning, benefit from exceptional principals to oversee our instruction, and are supported by dedicated district leaders who empower our schools.
Thank you for being the leaders of today, paving the way for us to become the leaders of tomorrow's Texas. Thank you.
Thank you.
We welcome next the representatives for Blended Academy.
Hi, I'm Alda Zuniga, principal at Blended Academy. Thank you, school board members, for your unwavering commitment to improve our schools. Your attention to the needs of our school district ensures that decisions are based on the best interest of students and educators alike. Blended Academy extends our deepest gratitude to you for your tireless work and dedication. Your leadership and commitment make a significant impact on the quality of education and the future of our community. Thank you for making our schools better for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. We welcome Del Rio Freshman School.
Good evening, President Mesta, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. My name is Eric Barrera. I am the class president, and with me is Manuel Rojas. We attend Del Rio Freshman School. Del Rio Freshman students and staff are extremely grateful for your dedication, leadership, and unwavering commitment to the success of our students and the growth of our schools in our district. We want to express our sincere gratitude for the countless hours you put into making decisions that positively impact our educational community. We understand that these choices are never easy, but your commitment to making the best decisions for the students, staff, and community is truly commendable.
Thank you for your hard work and support make a lasting difference. And we are truly thankful for your service helping us reach excellence in education. Your involvement in thoughtful leadership play a crucial role in shaping the future of our schools. Thank you for being the pillar of shining light that guides our district.
Thank you so much.
Next, we welcome Early College High School.
Good evening, President Mesa and Dr. Rios and members of the board. I am Juan Ortiz. I'm the ECHS Ambassador President, and joining me alongside is Samantha Barksdale, our Vice President. On behalf of the entire student body and staff of Del Rio Early College High School, we would like to thank you for the tireless work, the countless hours, and the continuous support you provide for our district students, families, campus staff, and community.
Without your support, our success would not be possible. Please receive this small token of our appreciation and know you're making a difference. Thank you, and on behalf of the entire student body of the Del Rio Early College High School, we hope you had a happy School Board Appreciation Month. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you.
And we will complete our representation with Del Rio High School.
Good evening, members of the school board and Dr. Rios. I am here with my fellow classmates to thank you for your unfailing commitment to the success of the San Felipe Del Rio CISD students. The national theme for School Board Appreciation is Leadership for Tomorrow's Texas. As students of the San Felipe Del Rio CISD, we have learned to become critical thinkers, problem solvers, and most importantly, we have built character and gained skills which will be invaluable as we launch into our educational path. This would not have been possible without your guidance and leadership and the opportunities this district has provided us, such as innovative teachers, sponsors and coaches who motivate to lead, many CTE programs and certifications, your support of fine arts and sports, and the dual credit and AP courses that are offered. Our gift this evening consists of a lantern. It was selected as a symbol of the guidance you provide to the students of the San Felipe Del Rio CISD, to prepare us to venture into our future to become the leaders of tomorrow's Texas. With me are presidents and leaders of Del Rio High School organizations who would like to share how they will serve Texas as they fulfill their dreams. Our dreams are big, just like everything in Texas. My name is Amanda Pedraza. I am the student council president. In the fall, I will be attending the University of Texas at Austin and major in government. I will be a leader for tomorrow's Texas by working for the U.S. Department of State. Thank you for leading the way.
Hello and good afternoon. My name is Eric Garcia. I am the president of FCCLA, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. In the fall, I'll be attending Angelo State University and majoring in English. I will be a leader for tomorrow's Texas by inspiring the future generations of students by becoming an elementary teacher. Thank you for your commitment.
Hello, my name is Will Foshi, and I am the driver for the robotics team. In the fall, I will be attending Texas A&M University at College Station, and I will be majoring in engineering. I will be a leader for tomorrow's Texas by joining the United States Air Force and becoming a civil engineer.
Good evening. My name is Cameron Nowlin, and I am the current captain of the Queen City Bells. In the fall, I plan to attend the University of Texas at Austin to major in computer science. I will be a leader for tomorrow's Texas by one day working at NASA as a software engineer to improve what is possible with space travel. Thank you for your leadership.
Good evening. My name is Amanda Ong, and I am the president of the National Technical Honor Society. In the fall, I will be attending the University of Texas at Austin to major in mechanical engineering. I will be a leader for tomorrow's Texas by designing assistive technology and prosthetics to improve the quality of life for the members of our community. Thank you for your time and dedication.
Good evening. My name is Giselle Trevino, and I'm the varsity cheer captain. In the fall, I will be attending Baylor University and majoring in nursing. I will be a leader for tomorrow's Texas by providing healthcare services to our community as an anesthesiologist. Thank you for your support.
Hello, my name is Abram Noel Ortiz, and I am the head mariachi of the high school's varsity Mariachi de Medianoche. In the fall, I'll be attending the University of Texas at Austin and majoring in geophysics. I'll be a leader of tomorrow's Texas by help locating subsurface natural resources with oil and energy companies. This passion was inspired to me by the University of Texas at Austin's GeoForce program. And I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all on behalf of all of our students, all our faculty, and everybody that is a member of our district for all the help and support that you give us. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank all of our student representatives and their teachers and their administrators. And I think Abram just said it perfectly. So thank you for all that you do. And thank you so much for what you do for our school district.
Thank you, Sandra. And I just want to say we have great leaders. It's so rewarding and comforting to know that these young people are great speakers, but there'll be community leaders not long from now. And so we feel great that we have people to replace every leader in this community to do a fantastic job. Awesome job, all of you speaking. And I wish I could give an opportunity to every board member to say something, but we have a long agenda. Thank you again, parents, and thank you, students. Thank you so much. We appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
We go on to the next item on our agenda, and it's going to be item 4B, Athletic All-State Academic for Volleyball and Cross Country. Mr. Frenchie McCray.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the school board. Let me first begin by saying we too in athletics thank you for all that you do. We thank you for the time, the dedication. We love seeing you at our events, and we thank you for just the backing and the donation that you give to us so we can continue to do what we do in athletics. So thank you so much. Tonight, I stand before you to present success that is extremely important to us. We all know that it's extremely important for us to excel in the classroom. We also understand that because they participate in extracurricular activities, that sometimes it's difficult to manage both. But we have some students that we would like to recognize tonight that have done an excellent job in handling on the court, on the course, on the field, as well as in the classroom, doing the best that they can do. So tonight we honor our academic all-state recipients. To be nominated for this award, you have to be a senior, you have to be an athlete, student, trainer, or manager in good standing with your team, have good moral character, and have an overall grade point average of a 92 from grades 9 through 12. The Texas High School Coaches Association and Texas High School Coaches Educational Foundation would like to recognize the following students from Delray High School. Representing cross country, whose head coach is Ms. Vicky Perez. We have, go ahead. She deserves it. We have second team cross country academic all-state, Mr. Leonardo Rogel. Also second team cross country academic all-state, we have James Main. An honorable mention, cross country academic all-state, we have Kaylee Morales. Representing, representing Queens Volleyball, head coach Angelica Rivera. We have second team academic all-state, Madeline Hernandez. We call her Maddie. And honorable mention, Mariana Aguilar. In closing, again, we would like to thank you for all the dedication and time that you put forth to help us excel in what we do. We also want to thank all of our principals from elementary all the way into our secondary campuses for the time and the effort they put forth, for all their support and working with us in everything we do. So thank you so much. We honor our academic All-State.
Congratulations. Congratulations to all the students and coaching staff for a job well done. Thank you, parents, again for your support. And that's awesome, Macon State. Going to our next recognition is item 4C, Career and Technical Education, CTE Month Recognition. Mr. Roger Gonzalez.
Good evening, Mr. Mesa and Dr. Rios and board trustees. Again, on behalf of our CT family, we'd like to thank you for all the support that you give this entire district and especially CTE. Every February, we celebrate CT Month across the nation, highlighting the remarkable benefits of career and technical education, also known as CTE. This year's theme, Building the Future Workforce, Innovation and Skills for Tomorrow, reinforces our steadfast commitment to preparing students for successful careers. The expansion of CT opportunities within our school district is truly exciting. We continuously enhance our offerings with innovative specialty courses, value industry-recognized certifications, and engaging projects, including dual credit classes. These transformative programs empower students to develop essential skills, unleash their creativity, and become ready for both college and career success. CTE provides a platform where students can truly shine, offering opportunities to compete at the district, state, national, and even global levels. Our dedicated CT community includes 40 CT teachers across all secondary campuses, a supportive staff, and over 3,200 CTE students engaged in 20 diverse career pathways spanning the 13 national career clusters. CTE is dedicated to building strong networks and promoting dynamic programs that shape the next generation of leaders. Ms. Christy Barrera, our CT coordinator, will provide essential details about the exceptional CT Student Ambassador Program.
Good evening. The CT Student Ambassadors Organization was started 12 years ago and has made a tremendous impact as these students have become the voice of CTE. They advocate and promote CTE within our schools and community, raising awareness of opportunities within the department. They serve on CTE advisory boards, helping to strengthen partnerships, gain support for local businesses, and highlighting the impact of CTE in preparing students for high-demand careers. They share their passion for their CTE programs with younger students at career fairs to help them make better choices for their future education. By engaging with peers, policymakers, and employers, CTE ambassadors play a crucial role in bridging the gap between education and the workforce, ensuring more students recognize the value of CTE training. I'm honored to present the 2024-2025 CTE Student Ambassadors. Beginning with Automotive and Collision Repair, Arlene Salazar. Aviation Maintenance, Angelo Soto. Our Business Marketing and Finance Ambassador, Chloe Juarez, could not be here tonight. She is competing at the Regional Powerlifting Meet. Carpentry is represented by Miranda Zapata. Electrical, Adrian Diaz. Heating, Ventilation, and Air Conditioning, Maximus Schmidt. Certified Medical Assistant, Melanie Gonzalez. Certified Nursing Assistant, Diego Salinas. Emergency Medical Technician, Yasmin Wolf. Culinary Arts, Benjamin Harlan. Cybersecurity, Cameron Nowlin. Digital Communications, Angela Garcia. Early Learning, Angela Cortez. Engineering, Amanda Ong. Graphic Design and Interactive Media, Analisa Reyes. Law and Public Service, Kaylee Morales. Teaching and Training, Elena Sanchez. And Welding, Felicidad Maldonado. We thank you for all you do. And at this time, we would like to present Dr. Rios and the school board members with a spice rack created by the carpentry and computer science students. On behalf of CTE, thank you for all of the support you have shown our department throughout the years.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Great job.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Great job.
Good job. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you. Good job, ma'am. Good job. Good job. Good job, ma'am. Good job.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Good job.
Please. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Good job.
Again, on behalf of CTE, thank you very much for your support of our programs.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I want to congratulate the students for being ambassadors because, again, that's how we encourage other students to sign up for the classes and make it interesting because it's very interesting what they do, each and every one of them, and it helps in the career path that they're taking. So thank you again for taking that initiative of being a leader to be an ambassador for your program. At this time, we have a citizen to be heard. We have Juanita Rodriguez Lopez. I just want a couple of rules. Where is Juanita Rodriguez Lopez? Okay, just a couple of rules. In accordance with the law, no deliberation, discussion, or decision will be made other than to consider a proposal to place the subject on the agenda for a subsequent meeting unless the subject is listed on the agenda, on the board agenda, in which case it may be discussed by the board. A written response or acknowledgement may be provided. Oral comments are limited to up to maximum 5 minutes in length and may be reduced in the discretion of the board president. We'll give you 3 minutes, okay? We have a long agenda. In the interest of time and efficiency, unless extended by a majority of the trustees, and most of all, not mention any employee by name or position or contain any personally identifiable reference. If multiple people wish to speak to address the same topic, the board may request that a spokesperson be selected for making that speech. You have 3 minutes.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Good evening to everybody, the board members. I'm here as a parent of 2 children in special education, and I'm demanding more support for them and every other student who need it. My son has ADD, dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia, but getting him tested was a nightmare. The school refused, so we had to pay $600 out of pocket for private testing. Only then did the school start the process, which would be taken over a year if we had waited. That is unacceptable. What happens to families who can't afford that? On top of that, programs like Hooked on Phonics, Nessie, and ABC Mouse, which actually help and are paid out of pocket by parents, costing $20 to $25 a month. Meanwhile, the school only offers limited access to resources like audiobooks during school hours. Kids need them at home too. Then there's SB2, which may sound like a solution, but private schools pick and choose who they accept, leaving kids like mine back in public school without funding that could have helped them. I also found out about the PDSES grant, which provides one-time funding for special education students on my own. No teacher, principal, or board member informed me. And when the school finally posted about it, it was likely too late for most families to apply. Meanwhile, athletic gets prioritized even when they don't bring in results. Special education students are constantly overlooked, left out of extracurricular activities, field trips, and opportunities that should be for everyone. So I'm asking you, what are you going to do to change this? Special education needs more funding, more resources, and more action.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we go on to the next item. It's item 8, reports. 8A, middle school redesign update. Sandra Hernandez.
Good evening once again, Mr. Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. This evening, I'm going to be providing you with an update of the middle school redesign project update. The last time that we have presented the update, the school district was working on the process for parent notifications for the rezoning for middle schools and the rezoning of Garfield students to the other elementary campuses. Since then, our school district has been working with a company who's assisting us with the production and the delivery of over 2,400 letters for parent notifications to notify them so that they know which campuses they will be assigned to in the fall. And we looked at the information that was provided to us by the demographer. We used that source of information. And so we then identified the campus that we'll be attending in the fall. We also produced the letters for the Garfield elementary students and where they will be assigned to also in the fall. These letters are also in production. Today, as a matter of fact, we've got confirmation that middle school letters have been released, and so our parents should be seeing these letters within the next 5 to 7 days. At your desk, you have a folder that provides you with a sample copy. You have a sample copy of a middle school letter and a sample copy of an elementary Garfield letter. And you'll see what the parents are going to be receiving. Of course, it would be specific to each individual student depending on their area of residency and their zone. The other update that we have for you, New Tech Academy. So our school principal, Mrs. Pond, has been very busy visiting the elementary campuses and meeting with parents at each one of those campuses in those informational meetings about New Tech Academy. They were held throughout the month of January, and to date, she has 229 students that have registered to attend the New Tech Academy, which is fantastic. These parents, even though they're going to receive the letters from their zoning letters, the letter also identifies that if they are accepted to the New Tech Academy, they will receive a follow-up letter next month that will tell them that they've been accepted to the new tech academy, and they will be reassigned to San Felipe Memorial Middle School. In addition to the information that is on the letters, we've also provided parents with information that's an FAQ. So you'll see frequently asked questions that we received during those informational meetings, and we, to the best of our ability, put together some information for them, such as questions on transportation, which we will be providing to them, information regarding the letters. What if my address has changed? Well, they will be meeting with, or they have a number who to contact at Student Services, which we will be sharing that information with next, so that they can then have the correct school that they will be attending in the fall. The next group of activities that we've done for rezoning is we started to work with our school librarians. And the reason why we did that was we started to begin to prepare for the books, not only the library books, but the textbooks, and started preparing a plan for redistributing Garfield's books to the other elementary campuses, as well as a similar plan for middle schools and their distribution of those library books as well. So Ms. Gurley has been very instrumental in coordinating these meetings with the librarians, and they have since developed a plan so that they could coordinate which books are going where. And they're in the process of just barcoding them so that they're now prepared to be transitioned to the next campus. Those majority of the books are going to be transferred after state testing in May and in June, although there is some work that's already being done at this time. It's just the behind the scenes work in collecting, barcoding and separating those books. And our next steps that we have coming up in March is transferring, as I mentioned earlier, the lists that we gathered from the demographer, the separation of students and where they're living and what schools they're going to be attending. We're now going to share that information to Student Services so that if there is an address change, then our Student Services can then assist with being able to identify the school. Those new Tech Academy letters, as I mentioned earlier, are going to be shared with parents mid-March. And then we are working with our transportation director, and he is already taking a look at what our bus routes are going to look like for this fall. So we're pleased to share that he's very close to finalizing that, and that we will share during the next month the bus stops for the next school year. Also, we are finalizing staffing plans for middle schools and elementary schools by the end of next month. We will have our next Citizens Committee meeting this coming Thursday, and to review the other district needs as well. So this concludes the brief update for middle school redesign project. This time, are there any questions?
I'll turn it over to board members for questions. Sandra, a couple of things. First of all, science manipulatives. We were very short of science equipment and beakers and things of that sort. Will there be enough for the 3 campuses? In regard to, are there any additional purchases are being made?
Mr. Mesa, because the number of science teachers is going to remain the same, we expect that there will be enough. However, we will ensure that we do an inventory before the end of the month to make sure.
Just want to make sure that anything like simple machines, whatever is available for the different units and so forth. The other item is in regard to staffing. Will there be volunteers that will take a certain school before forcing teachers to move?
Mr. Mesa, the three principals spent a lot of time ensuring that the campuses were adequately balanced in terms of years of experience. They also, because we have the teacher incentive allotment, we have some idea of which students have, or which teachers, I'm sorry, have made the highest gains with students. So they took pains to make sure the staff was balanced. So we are not, our first step is not to ask for volunteers. Our first step is to adequately balance the staff so that all three schools have the same type of, same level of experience and student success.
Yeah, my concern is, every teacher, whether it's sixth grade, they develop their own materials for sixth grade, a certain grade level. And so if they're moved to a different grade level, they start at ground zero.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mesa, I didn't understand the question. Teachers will remain in the same grade.
Okay, they'll remain the same grade.
Yes, sir.
That is very comforting.
Yes, sir. I misunderstood the question. Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Next item we have is report, item B, target improvement plan, presentation for Del Rio Middle School and Garfield, Jane Villarreal.
Hi, good evening, Board President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. Tonight, I will be presenting the targeted improvement plan for both Del Rio Middle School and Garfield Elementary. As you can see in the presentation, we do have two campuses that were identified as comprehensive support improvement needed, and one that has been identified as targeted support. We have Garfield Elementary in year 1, Del Rio Middle School year 2, and San Felipe Memorial Middle School is listed as a target support, which does not require a plan, but does ask that we continue in improvement planning processes and completing any required activities. The comprehensive support requires our campuses to go through a effective schools framework diagnostic process in which Region 15 assisted in. This process highlights our strengths and any areas for growth, and it also ensures that the tip or the plan addresses any identified priorities and leverages any existing assets to support sustainable growth or progress. The diagnostic was performed by those individuals, the facilitators from Region 15. So for Del Rio Middle School, it was done November 8th, 2023. And then Michael Bohensky helped us with Garfield's October 4th, 2024. Some of the questions that are reviewed during the diagnostic are those that you see there. Are we placing the strongest teachers with the highest need students? Are we creating the conditions for student learning? Are instructional materials high quality? Are research-based instructional strategies being implemented? Is data being used effectively to analyze and monitor teacher progress? And is data being used to effectively analyze and monitor student progress? Oh, that was twice, excuse me. Again, our targeted improvement plans are submitted in ISAM, Intervention Stage Activity Manager, and that is new. This is a little different than what you've seen before. They have made it a little more focused on our strategy that we have listed. So you'll see it's a little more user-friendly, and it consists of a series of questions This will be submitted February 28th. And so the first question that you'll see in our targeted improvement plan for both campuses is, what is your school improvement strategy? This year we've been focused on TIL, the Texas Instructional Leadership, and that is the development of instructional leadership and coaching. And also our other instructional pathway providers such as NIT have been assisting us at Del Rio Middle School. They will continue throughout this school year in year 2 through May 2025. And so our focus have been with coaching, data-driven instruction, planning and intervention, using the data for intervention. The next question asks, what reallocation of resources, time, funding, staffing are needed to implement your school improvement strategy based on your ESF diagnostic? So again, through the use of our Focus School Grant, which of course is a 2-year grant, we've allocated funds for the support of the findings in our diagnostic. Also, of course, looking at master schedule, trainings, professional development, building our instructional leadership in coaching, data-driven instruction, observation, and feedback, and then, of course, embedding collaborative planning through our protocols. We have also applied for the LASSO Instructional Leadership Grant so that we can continue funding for the instructional coaching for any of our campuses that are in the comprehensive listing. And so we'll continue, that will help us continue building capacity for instructional coaching and use of data. The next series of questions talk about or ask about our curriculum programs. And you'll see that for Garfield, questions 3 and 4 apply. It's asking what we use for K through 5 math. And we do use STEMscope's Texas Math for K through 5. That is a high quality instructional material as approved through TEA. And for question number 4, it's asking specifically for our English or RLA. And so K through 2 uses an HQIM, Texas MyView Literacy. 3rd through 5th, we use McGraw-Hill Wonders. So our targeted improvement plan is asking us to identify those curriculum programs. Questions 5 and 6 apply specifically to Del Rio Middle School. And again, it's asking us to identify curriculum programs that will be utilized. And for 6th through 8th, we use McGraw-Hill Texas Math, so we'll identify that in our plan. And then for RLA 6, we use McGraw-Hill StudySync, and then HMH ED for 7th and 8th grade RLA. Questions 7 and 8 really don't apply. It is part of the target improvement plan that we need to submit and identify the curriculums used for Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, as well as geometry. So those are identified, and then question 8 asks us to identify curriculum for our RLA 9th through 12th grade. So there we have Algebra 1, we use implementing the TEKS resource. Algebra 2 and geometry, they're teacher created, but based off of TEKS resource. And then question number 8, we use Savas Realize for RLA 9 through 12. The next question in our targeted improvement plan asks how stakeholders have been engaged to solicit feedback on school improvement strategies and curriculum chosen. So again, campus teams are given the opportunity to provide feedback and information through planning sessions. And we've had community forums. The dates are attached there, as well as principal meetings. This information, of course, is shared as we solicit feedback on coaching strategies. And again, continuation of Texas Instructional Leadership, our TIL focus that we have for this school year. And of course, we're presenting this tonight. Again, new is we have applied for the LASSO grant. Again, that will be funding to continue building capacity for our campus teachers and leaders through coaching, data-driven instruction, and also planning structures throughout the day. And Region 15 will continue to partner with us to provide PD, professional development for principals and cluster leaders, also conduct walkthroughs with principals for calibration, mediate meetings with TEA, assist in the goal setting, and data collections, and submit quarterly reports that are required to TEA. Moving forward, since of course, we won't have Garfield Elementary, how will we be able to track students? We're still waiting for further guidance from Region 15 and TA, but more than likely we may have to track our Garfield students wherever they end up, what their new campus, and track their progress at their newly enrolled campus. And that is all I have. Any questions?
Board members? Ms. Orfeld?
You answered what I was going to ask there about, Garfield won't exist next year for 25-26. So I was curious about what TEA was going to say about how do you deal with that when a school doesn't exist, and then the possibility of having to follow those kids across 6 other campuses just sounds like a nightmare headache. I don't envy y'all. The other thing there that along that same line is by next year, each of these, we'll have 3 middle school campuses that will be 6, 7, 8 each. So 6th grade right now, San Felipe Memorial has its own TEA code, right? Like 43 was Delray Middle School, has always been Delray Middle School, et cetera. So what happens now that we're kind of dissolving that campus and spreading those 6th graders out over the 3, and it was, it was set for just targeted support right now, and then also Delray Middle, which is in year 2, it will gain some kids, but then some of those kids are going to be sent out to the other 3. Is TA also going to go and say, you've got to follow all those 6th and 7th, or those 7th and 8th graders and potentially 9th graders to those different campuses to figure out if we're being successful?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Orfeld, we're in the process of determining how we're going to proceed with all that. It is more likely than not that we will apply for new numbers for all 3 middle schools. We're pretty much sure that's what we're going to do. Once we do that, we will ask for direct guidance from TA as to what the next steps are. I don't want to speculate, but I think that if the number goes away, so do the requirements. But we have to verify all that.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Almaraz.
I've got 2 just quick questions with regard to the instructional leadership development. Who's going to attend that as far as like what? Is it going to be campus leadership? Is it going to be teachers, or who will be attending those instructional pathways?
So currently, our campus administrators, our principals, are the ones that attend those with Region 15.
Okay. And the grants, how many grants are we requesting, or how many have we?
It's one grant through LASSO Instructional Leadership.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I know Mr. Orfeld asked a very good question because it's hard to monitor once these students are spread over 3 campuses. It's difficult to monitor bilingual students, for example, you know, when they are separated from the different campuses, academies, and so forth. But my question has to do with, again, the same grant that Mr. Almaraz asked. When will we know if that grant has been approved, the LASSO leadership?
We have been awarded the grant. We found out February 20th. We have until March 24th to decide if we want to participate in that, right, and accept it. But those are some of the questions that we also have to figure out. What?
So that will be an additional 2 years?
An additional 2 years, yes, sir.
Okay, and I have another question. The original one is about to end
May
on
2025.
the end of 25,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have a new principal there, Dr. Rios. How, last year, how did it start, or what, did we lose a whole year?
As far as the grant,
No, the leadership training. It's a 2-year program. This is the end of the 2-year cycle?
this is, yes, sir. This is the end of the 2-year cycle. And, I think it was 1 year that the previous principal was there under the grant that we received. So yes, sir. But we have to find out what's going to happen since the campus is being dissolved, and what's going to happen with that grant. So even though we received the LASSO grant, we were notified last Friday, we don't know that we're going to get that money since now the campus number goes away. But we'll get all those answers here within the next 30 days.
We have partnered with Region 15 for the continuation of TIL. So that we're still committed to that program.
Yeah, it makes it so difficult to, again, once they are dispersed to different campuses, to follow up on these students that, again, need that additional help, and the leaders that need that coaching and instructional leadership. This is why we're under the circumstances that we're in right now.
Well, I understand that, Mr. Mesa, but the state, unfortunately, we applied but did not receive that grant. But the state encourages having low-performing schools dissolved and sent to higher-performing schools. And they even have a grant for that very purpose. Now, unfortunately, we applied for that grant, but we didn't receive that grant. However, the programs where the Garfield students are attending next year have established bilingual programs. And we'll continue to track the data of those students and their interventions, whether they're Garfield or Calderon Elementary or Chavita or Buena Vista.
Yeah, because what I want to focus more is on the students, not to drop them off the radar. The leaders can go on and get their training, but I want to make sure that the students are addressed, the ones that are needing the assistance, so that we can get off of this designation.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Go on to item 8C, discussion and process and options of the San Felipe Duro CISD school calendar. Amy Childress.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. This evening, I will be bringing you a review of our calendar development process for our 2025-2026 instructional year. Administration has been working with our district planning and decision-making committee in order to present you with, we have come up with 3 options, calendar A, B, and C for the 2025-2026 year. When planning and discussing the options for the calendars, we have several parameters that are considered. Amongst these are that the calendar must include 187 teacher duty days and 75,600 instructional minutes, which can include up to 5 days of professional development accounting for 2,100 of the total minutes. We also have the creation of 2 bad weather days into the calendar. Also, with Texas Education Code 25.0811, it does not allow districts to begin school before the 4th Monday of August. However, the district is a district of innovation, and so it does allow us to begin classes earlier than the public school requirement. And so we usually implement an earlier school start date, specifically on the 2nd Monday in August. Also, we look that teaching staff usually recommends that we complete the first semester prior to the winter break. We allow for 4 staff development days during the year, 3 work days. We also determine staff development waiver days. And the board has also asked us to include, to honor Memorial Day, Martin Luther King holiday, and Veterans Day as part of the calendars. Holidays that are included in the 3 options that we will show this evening are Labor Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, Veterans Day. We have a week off for Thanksgiving break. We have a winter break that consists of 2 weeks. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day, spring break, which is currently set for March 9th through the 13th, Good Friday, Easter Monday, Memorial Day, and Independence Day. And again, all of these holidays are included in each of the options that will be presented this evening. Also included in the calendars are the RTI planning and training days. The RTI days allow principals time to meet with clusters or their departments in order to disaggregate data. They usually meet 1 hour per cluster. RTI days also for students can change in the tiers for intervention if applicable. Planning, teachers will use the remaining time to plan for the next 6 weeks of instruction as a team. C&I will also be a part of this collaborative. And also for training purposes, staff will receive required trainings on these dates instead of being pulled off campus. All right, the first calendar I have is calendar A. And again, I will mention all 3 of these calendars. The teacher start date will be August 4th. The ending date would be May 29th of 2026. And for students, they would all 3 calendars have a starting date of August 11th, 2025, with an ending date of May 28th, 2026. Calendar A would include 175 instructional days and 187 teaching days. It also includes 5 RTI days and 3 teacher work days. Calendar B would include 175 instructional days, 187 teaching days. It also would include 5 RTI days, with 3 teacher workdays. And option C would include 176 instructional days, 187 teaching days. It would include 4 RTI days and 3 teacher workdays. All 3 calendars have been built around the current calendar that we have. With most of the changes would just be the dates of the RTI or the teacher workdays. Going forward, our plan is to be able to launch the survey to the employees by this Thursday. That would give them 2 full weeks to answer the survey back before spring break, in hopes that we would be able to bring an option for approval at the March board meeting.
Questions from board members?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Orfeld?
So I know the importance of RTI days. However, there has been an issue that has come up, and I can speak to that as an employee of Southwest Texas College. When we schedule all of the RTI days on Mondays, any RTI day that's going to be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, what happens when those occur, the college is still in session. However, the school district and the students are not in session because they're off while the teachers are there. And what that does is it goes in, and depending on the A or B day schedule that an instructor has that teaches dual credit for our ECHS, such as myself, I go in and, using myself as an example, I go in and lose X amount of meetings with that class. And what that goes in and does is it puts that particular class so many days behind, because we only get to see them two times a week. And other instructors have come and expressed this to me. So, last semester with the number of RTI days, we lost out on instruction time with them. And in going in and looking at this, picking any of them, there's at least 3 to 4 days, depending on which option is chosen. There can be 3 to anywhere from 3 to 5 that will greatly hinder our ECHS students, because it is important to know that they're not just students of the high school or of the district. They are also students of Southwest Texas College at the time. I would highly recommend, and the college could make them come to class, say, even though it's y'all are off, you need to be here. But we understand a large majority of our students may not have transportation. Therefore, the college has decided it will not place an undue burden on those students by requiring them to come in on days where the college is operating as normal, but the district is off for staff development, whatever it might going to be, or RTI. So, staff development today, I'll lose out a session with the kids. I lost out a session today, and then if we go and look at last week, I lost out there. So that's 2 back-to-back that greatly shortened the time that I have to go in and do class with them. And that's everyone else who has our ECHS students who walk over to take classes with us. I would highly recommend that the committee goes in or administration goes in and looks at these particular dates that are September, November, February on option 1, the 2 in February on option 2, and the ones in option 3. And instead of having those on a Monday, let's have those on a Friday, because the we don't have classes on Friday at the college, so it would not interfere with the A-day, B-day schedule. So those kids who have an A-day or a B-day, there's at least one Friday where they're over at the ECHS, and they're not with us. Every Friday is going to be like that. So if they're going to possibly lose an instruction day with the college, I think it is better that it goes in and it be that they're on Fridays as opposed to Mondays. So as we are not going in and doing an injustice to our ECHS kids who have a college schedule and are having to miss out on that. That would be a suggestion I would make to administration, and then also for your DMC committee. It might be, because of the great relationship that we have with Southwest Texas, it might be a good idea to go in and possibly ask a member from the college to serve on that committee as well, because we directly affect each other in what's going in and happening. So other than that, the calendar looks great and stuff. That's something that I wanted to pass along, not only from me, but from my colleagues at the college who teach dual credit kiddos there, because we do lose out, and there are some classes that there's just a lot of work that we're having to get through in 16 weeks, because there are days also where, their holidays are different than ours. So we don't see, it greatly reduces us being able to see them there. So that'd be my recommendation to administration, is look at moving those RTI days. I know they're right after the 6 weeks, but move them 4 days, and you're still able to drill down the data there. So that'd just be a suggestion.
We'll look at it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Amy, do you remember what the survey percentage was, people that returned the survey?
I'm sorry, from last year, Mr.
Yes,
Mesa?
from last year.
I don't from last year.
We'll check, Mr. Mesa. I want to say that it was roughly 50% of the people we sent it to, but we'll check what the survey was last year. I know that we updated the board, so we can find out.
I just want to make sure that we get plenty of people, plenty of time so they can make a choice, okay?
Yes, sir.
And improve the percentage.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next item we have is item 8D, Facilities and Construction Update. Ms. Chapa.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the board. Tonight's presentation will provide an update on the Cody Ward Law gymnasium renovation, as well as the HVAC equipment replacement project. Currently, the roof at Cody Ward Law, the roofers have completed their task, and plumbing is about 2/3 of the way done. The rough-in plumbing and the top-out has been completed and inspected by the city of Del Rio, and the plumbers have taken a break until the walls are completed, tiled, and flooring also, so they can come back and install the fixtures. HVAC is proceeding. They installed all the ductwork in the restroom area, the front portion of the building. Electrical as well. The electrical already passed our rough-in inspection in that portion of the building, a partial inspection. Windows and doors, windows have started to be installed on the west side of the building. The gym floor, the first phase of it has been completed, which was replacing the damaged planks, and the whole floor was sanded down to bare wood, and 2 coats of sealer was installed. The next phase, which is scheduled for early in May, would be to paint the stripes and then do the final varnish on it. A picture of the completed roof. windows on the west side on the lower levels. The contractor plans to go around the perimeter of the building on the lower level and then proceed to the upper set of windows and then end with the end caps of the building. The interior, staff has already installed the insulation and passed inspection, so they're proceeding to install drywall. Proceeding with the report and maintenance projects, the lights at the Student Guidance and Lettering Center have not started up again due to unforeseen projects. We did release the perimeter fencing of San Felipe Memorial Middle School for advertisement. It's scheduled to bid for a bid opening April 1st. Of course, all these projects on the list are pending Citizens Committee review and recommendations. Tomorrow, we have a scheduled meeting with Schneider to do a kickoff meeting for the HVAC needs project. Thursday afternoon, there was an incident at the high school at approximately 3:30. The switchgear overheated, and it was reported to staff. The campus was de-energized by AP, and staff proceeded to isolate the damaged equipment and restore power for the rest of the campus at the end of the day, late at night, basically. On Friday, staff continued to provide temporary power for the damaged areas or affected areas, which included the original administrative wing of the campus, as well as the nurse's office, the culinary arts and choir rooms, the restrooms immediately across from the nurse's office, as well as the dining area lighting. Also, a plan of action was developed with 2 options, and a materials list was ordered. Saturday, staff was dispatched to San Antonio to pick up the materials. Option 1 was to extract the damaged cables from the existing conduit, but that option failed. It seemed like the heated materials bonded with the conduits, metal conduits, so there was no way we can extract them. So we proceeded with option 2, which meant running a new conduit run completely overhead and penetrated the building in the mechanical closet. That was started Saturday, and it was completed on Sunday, and power was restored Sunday afternoon. Campus back to normal. Here's some pictures of the conduit run on the roof, as well as junction boxes and the penetration going into the mechanical closet, and staff and one of our local contractors that assisted us were able to provide the needed work by yesterday.
I'm sorry, hold up, Mr.
Yes, Dr. Good.
Before he goes on to the work orders, I just wanted to mention that it was quite an undertaking, and I want to express appreciation to the maintenance department because they worked Friday late into the evening, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. But it's all back to normal now. It was only one day of limited lighting in the cafeteria and that old administrative wing. So thank you to everybody that worked over the weekend. And thank you to the partnership with the electric company. Who was the company?
The company is Dynamic Pro Electric.
So thank you and good job to everybody.
Yes,
I know that you worked throughout the weekend, sir, and we owe you.
Yes. Going on to the maintenance work orders. For the maintenance department, the previous 90 days, there was a total of 797 work orders that were created, 89% were completed. On the 0 to 15 days, 85% were completed. 16 to 30 days, 84% were completed. 31 to 60 days, 91% were completed. And 61 to 90 days, 92% were completed. The technology department, past 90 days, 2,361 work orders were created, 99% were completed. On the 0 to 15 days, 97% were completed. 16 to 30 days, 99% were completed. 31 to 60 days, 99% were completed, and 61 to 90 days, 99.6% were completed. Transportation Department, for the past 90 days, 230 work orders or tickets were created, 96% were completed. On the 0 to 15 days, 91% were completed. 16 to 30 days, 96% were completed. 31 to 60 days, 95% were completed, and 61 to 90 days, 100% were completed.
Questions from board members? Anyone? Dr. Reyes?
Mr. Chávez, can you go back to the technology? So I wanted to mention, Mr. Mesa, that each one of the departments works hard and we definitely have a lot of work. But here in the last probably year, we haven't had any technology issues, Mr. Salinas, and I want to publicly just thank you because in the past, there was a whole lot of things, we called it dropping. I'm sure there's a more technical term for that. But kudos to the entire department. The connectivity has been great, and some of the problems that have occurred, well, it happens for systems that we plug into outside of the district, but kudos to the department, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. No questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item we have is item 8E, policy EIC, local overview, Cynthia Salas. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mesa, we should have put Mr. Barrera's name under there, so apologize, sir.
No worries. Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the board. This is an overview of recommendations from a committee regarding policy board EIC local.
Can you get the microphone closer to you, sir? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. This is an overview of board, the recommendations of the committee regarding board policy EIC local. A district committee was comprised of high school principals and counselors to discuss and recommend updates to board policy on class ranking. The committee's recommendation on calculation are beginning with the graduating class of 2029, the calculation of class rank shall be semester grades earned in high school credit courses in the following subjects only: English, mathematics, science, and social studies. The calculation shall include the semester grades from the 4 highest course averages in the highest weighted courses earned in the categories of English, mathematics, and science, and the highest course averages in the highest weighted courses to fulfill the 3 credits required for graduation in the category of social studies. The class rank calculations shall not include semester grades from a course that is retaken after a passing grade has been documented. The new grade shall not be recorded on the transcript. The recommendation for exclusions are, beginning with the graduating class of 2029, the calculation of class rank shall exclude grades earned in summer school, both high school and/or post-secondary, a non-accredited school, including homeschool, a school outside the United States unless recognized by the Texas Education Agency, a distance learning course unless the course is taken through the Texas Virtual School Network or offered by the district, any local credit course, a pass-fail course, or through credit by examination with or without instruction. The committee recommendation for valedictorian and salutatorian. The valedictorian and salutatorian shall be the eligible students with the highest and second highest rank, respectively. To be eligible for this local graduation honor, a student must have been continuously enrolled in the same district high school for the 4 semesters immediately preceding graduation. Be graduating after exactly 8 semesters of enrollment in high school and have completed the foundation program with at least 1 endorsement. Again, these are the recommendations of the committee. Are there any questions?
Lots. Sorry.
Yes. Just want to ask Sandra, where's Sandra? Oh, Sandra, this is going to go through the committee, right?
Mr. President, I'll answer that. We wanted to get the first reading because we're going to start enrolling. So we will bring it to the committee before we bring it for a second reading.
Okay. Just want to make sure, because I also have lots of questions, but we'll turn it over to Mr. Orfeld.
Stay up there, Sandra, because you were on the committee. You can help answer some of that.
And these will be good notes for when we have to go over and look at it before the second reading. So starting in with the class of 29, based on just what's laid out here, earned and shall be calculated based on semester grades earned in high school credit courses in the following subjects only. So English, math, science, and social studies. And then on the subsequent page after, it goes in and lists the 4 classes you have to take for English, right? There's 4 credits you have to earn for English, 4 credits you have to earn for mathematics, 4 for science, and 3 for social studies. 4, 8, 12, 15. So we're, and then it goes on to say, really nothing else goes in and classifies for that. So we're saying that starting with the class of 2029, that ranking will be comprised entirely and only on 15 credits. And because there's 22 for basic graduation and 22 for foundation and 26 for an endorsement.
So 26 minimal credits, yes,
26
sir.
minimum credits for endorsement. So the other 11 credits that they take, we're not going to use towards ranking under this policy as it stands right now?
Correct, under the recommendation, yes, sir.
Okay. Then, on the overview of changes when we get to exclusions, it talks about shall exclude grades earned in summer school, high school, and/or post-secondary. So are we going in and saying that if someone goes and takes concurrently Government 2305 at Southwest Texas Southwest Texas College to satisfy the government requirement at the high school, which I think falls under one of the social studies, that will not count?
So, yes, sir.
So, right now, ECHS runs 60-something students first summer session through. And you're telling me that starting with the class of 2029, all that ceases?
The committee's recommendation was to use core area classes for class rank purposes. There's different reasons, but basically, the students who are in other pathways, in other programs, for instance, P-TECH, or depending on their endorsement, would take more dual credit classes or more higher category classes as a part of their pathway versus other students, and therefore would have an unfair advantage. So the goal of the committee was to level the playing field for all students. We looked at other districts, and core area classes were used, and that seems to solve the problem for P-TECH students at the high school versus regular high school students and other students who are taking, let's say, an engineering pathway versus a business pathway, and so on.
Okay, so in keeping with that, it drops down to any local credit course will not be counted. So business, co-op, CTE, all those other things will not count towards ranking anymore.
Those would not count towards ranking. Local credit courses, it's referring to credit recovery, office aid, things of that nature.
But business, CTE, those are not core.
Correct.
And then on valedictorian and salutatorian, have been continuously enrolled in the same district high school for 4 semesters immediately preceding graduation. What if we have an individual who moves in, and when we plug their stuff in, they're the new valedictorian, and they're only going to be here a year because they're through Laughlin?
Correct. They would not be included in the class ranking.
Oh, we're opening ourselves for a lawsuit.
No, I'm sorry, can I answer that? They won't lose your class rank, but the valedictorian is a local honor, sir. They'll on their transcript, they'll have the class ranking, but as far as the honor of being the valedictorian, salutatorian, they will not.
Okay, but I still can't wrap my head around this whole thing of we require 26 credits to graduate, 22 technically, but this district asks for 26. But now we're just going to do it off of 15. Is this a specific TEA mandate, or life outside of high school is not fair? So I'm just curious as to why all of a sudden we want to try and water it down while here, and then get out. You have these students that go in and they take all of these different courses and advanced courses and stuff like that above the 15 that are being told here, and because the idea is to go in and not only better educate yourself, but also go in and increase the ability to rank higher to get into universities that are selective, and look at class ranking and some other stuff. I think by going and just saying based on these 4 and not considering the other things that could increase GPA, it's a disadvantage to those students who will now be trying to apply out.
Sorry, can I?
Dr. Reyes?
Yeah. Well, a couple of things to consider, Mr. Overfeld. First, this isn't our own invention. There are high schools throughout the state that do this very same type of calculation. We have to consider everybody who's looking to have a well-rounded high school education. Take fine arts, for example. If you do 4 years of band, there's absolutely some credits that are not going to count because you're going to use your fine arts or you're going to use your PE. And then it almost discourages students from being in band or being in athletics. And judging the rigor of doing an internship where you have a job versus being in a fourth year of band, for example, that in itself is also unfair. We believe that because of the benefits of those programs, students will choose the pathway that they choose, whether it be participating in fine arts, participating in athletics, or participating in a specialized CTE course. It'll give students a more well-rounded education. We're simply saying that, to take all the politics out of it, and by politics, I just mean the GPA game, to put it bluntly. Okay, let's count the ranking based on the core classes like other schools throughout the state do, and let's let everything else be where students actually participate in what they want to grow in and what's going to help them grow in better rather than just chasing the GPA. So that was a purpose behind it. We believe that students develop certain passions, and we want them to pursue it. We want them, if they're going to be true band members, be in band all 4 years. Continue with that. If you're going to be in athletics, be that. If you want to go get a job from a work program that we have in CT, by all means. But we, as the educators, whether it be the high school principals or myself, it's kind of hard to say you're going to go get a job and that the credit from that job is going to be worth more than your fourth year of fine arts, for example. All we're doing is trying to encourage students to pursue what they want to pursue in high school, and let the GPA be equally weighted for everybody, not for the pathway you choose.
Okay, so those 15 credits, high school and ECHS, correct? ECHS, all their stuff is dual credit on a 6.0 scale. Are we talking about backing down to a 4.0 scale to make everything, or take high school up to a 6.0 to make everything fair?
No, sir. The intent is for the students to be able to choose to take higher rigor classes and higher point value classes. It's not the first 4 classes that they earn towards graduation. Most seniors and most students have room in their schedule to add more rigorous courses. So if they choose to take calculus, which isn't a requirement, they do have the opportunity to do that. And if that is one of their higher scores, and also obviously one of the higher weighted courses, that would be used versus a 4-point algebra course that they have taken in prior years. And so it does open the door to other higher rigor courses for them to pursue the GPA. However, all the students would have the opportunity to take the same courses, not based on their pathway.
I'm sorry, Mr. Overfeld. It doesn't change the courses for students in early college high school versus Del Rio High School, because those GPAs are compared separately. Early college high school has what they have, and high school has what they have. Now, if a student chooses to transfer from early college high school to Del Rio High School, okay, then the rules come into effect that we can only use a class that is being offered to all high school students. So you can't bring with yourself an elevated course from early college high school that's not offered at Del Rio High School. But those rules have already exist.
One other, again, centered around the 15 hours required for graduation based on this. The other 11, and hopefully I'm wrong, and you can tell me I'm wrong. If everything's going to be based on, starting with the class of 2029, based on these 15 hours for English, math, science, and social studies, and everything else that I take that makes up the other 11 hours to get my endorsement and my distinguished thing, I could effectively make a 70 in all of those, but make 100 over these 15, and those other things will not affect my GPA and ranking because we're only taking those 15?
So for the purpose of class ranking and trying to achieve valedictorian, salutatorian, top honors, if they do receive a 70 in those courses, effectively, they would lower their GPA themselves with those grades anyway. The students who earn higher grades in the higher weighted courses would earn a higher weighted GPA. For the elective courses, let's say, for the pathway courses that are not necessarily required, those would still count through their cumulative GPA on their transcript for colleges and whatnot. This is specifically for class ranking purposes.
Right, so that's what I'm saying is I can go in and focus solely on these 15 and dominate there and make a 4.0. Like let's say I pulled that off, made a 4.0 in those 15. So for class ranking purposes, I have a 4.0, right? Because that's what it's going to be based on. The other 11, I can twiddle my thumbs and pass a 70 in the other 11 credit hours, and it'll change my cumulative, but not for ranking.
It wouldn't be based off of a 4.0 scale. We would still use the weighted GPA for those courses.
But do you get where I'm trying to?
No, you're correct. You're correct in the way that you're looking at it. Yeah, that's definitely one way to look at it, Mr. Overfield.
Okay.
You're on point. However, the other side of it is that students who are concerned about their grade point average are also concerned about college admission and are concerned about scholarships. They're not going to tank everything else and just focus on those 16 classes. We just want to ensure that we don't have the current problems that we're having where some students can take courses in summer school and then take more weighted courses during the year and create or maintain a system that favors one student over the other. We do not believe that the rigor, we don't believe that the popularity of our CT courses is going to be diminished. We think that students that want to work half a day when they're in high school is going to continue. Kids are going to pick their pathways. But for GPA calculation, this would level the playing field for everybody. The more advanced courses, the higher grade in the more advanced courses, a student that makes a 97 in calculus versus a student that makes a 93 in calculus is going to be differentiated. They're not all going to graduate with a 4.0. It's still going to create the competition that has existed before. It's just that now we're not going to penalize students for choosing to be in an athletic class for 4 years or choosing to be in band for 4 years. It's just going to make it even for everybody.
I don't think they're choosing to do athletics. They're choosing to do band for 4 years. That's a choice thing. I don't see it as a penalizing, but okay. I look forward to the next meeting and then seeing what it looks like for the second and final. Thank you.
Mr. Orfeld, if you could write some questions also for the committee, I think that would be good. My questions center around the deadline without exception when they can drop a course. I want to make sure that there's a designated deadline without exception on dropping the course. Along those lines. Anyone else? Okay, so we'll go through the committee. In the meantime, if anybody else has a question that comes up, welcome to come to the committee meeting or just give us the question in writing and follow up with it. Thank you. Okay, next item we have is the consent agenda. There's lots of items here, including minutes from previous meetings. There's some purchase orders that are quite large in amount. If anyone has a question, we can pull any of these items out. If not, we will approve all items with one action item. Any questions from board members?
1 second.
I have one on F7. Consideration to approve purchase order over $25,000 to SQL Data Systems in the amount not to exceed $26,063.74. Funding source, general funds, technology, to purchase wireless equipment to replace Wi-Fi access points at Del Rio High School. Haven't we done this before?
Yes, sir. There was one done about 2 years ago, but the high school was not included in that round of purchases. So this is, we had about $130,000 left over in E-rate funding from USAC, so we're using the rest of it so that we can complete that project for that campus.
So are there still some areas that need?
The high school is on the older, they're not the older ones, but they were replaced with the older ones that we pulled from the other campuses. So they're not the new ones like everybody else.
So it reaches a larger area?
There's newer technology. So the ones right now, they're still compatible, but like I said, the newer ones have better range and
Okay,
bigger capacities
okay.
on their stuff.
Josh?
I'm good, yes, sir.
Anybody else? Anyone else?
Motion to accept.
Okay, if no further questions, I'll entertain a motion to accept. Motion made by Mr. Orfeld, seconded by Mr. Almaraz. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Go on to administration, item 10A. Consideration to accept the resolution to adopt and ratify the purchase and sale agreement for the purchase of certain real property located at 703 Waters Avenue, Del Rio, Texas, for a sum of $50,000. Amy Childress.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. So yes, we're bringing for you tonight a resolution to adopt and ratify the purchase and sale agreement on the 703 Waters property. Originally, the contract was for $40,000, and we are now submitting it for $50,000.
So, nothing in the street yet.
No, sir. The city is making inquiries into that for the meets and bounds, and they will present it at their upcoming, well, I shouldn't say upcoming city council meeting, because I don't know if they'll be ready by the next city council meeting, but they're starting the research on it.
I was asking Dr. Rios if we have any updates as far as closing the street on Water Street, but no updates yet. I think everyone is aware of this item we discussed in the executive session. Any question from board members? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion. Oh, can we hear the?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approves the resolution to adopt and ratify the purchase and sale agreement for the purchase of certain real property located at 703 Waters Avenue, Del Rio, Texas, for a sum of $50,000, and for the board president to execute any and all documents and instruments necessary to effectuate and complete the purchase of the property.
For the recommendation, now I'll entertain a motion for approval. Motion made by Amy Haynes, seconded by Mrs. Webb. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Item 10B, consideration to adopt a resolution regarding communication from and opportunity for input to the Val Verde County Appraisal District on matters that affect property taxation within the school district's boundaries. Amy Childress.
Good evening once again, President Mesa. Before you, in a board update, you received a discussion between, communication between the district and the Val Verde Appraisal District Board, and we would just like for you to consider to adopt that resolution at this time.
I think everybody knows what this is all about, right? Okay. Any questions for Amy? Hearing none, could you read the recommendation?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approves the adoption of the resolution regarding communication from an opportunity for input to the Val Verde County Appraisal District on matters that affect property taxation within the school district's boundaries.
For the recommendation from administration, I'll entertain a motion for approval. Motion made by Mr. Almaraz, seconded by Becky Chavez. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 10C, consideration to approve the first reading of proposed revision to local policy EIC, academic achievement, class ranking. Sandra Hernandez.
Good evening once again, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. Earlier, you heard the presentation by Mr. Barrera on class ranking. Their proposed revisions to EIC local would clarify calculation and revisions beginning with the class of 2029. Again, this is a first reading. It does not approve the policy. It is only a first reading. And so we would ask the board if they will, again, come into our next policy review committee meeting. We would further discuss this particular policy.
Okay, so I understand, we're kind of in a time crunch. So if you have any questions, please write them down and forward them, or you can attend the committee meeting, which will be coming up pretty soon.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions for Sandra at this time? No questions, recommendation, please?
Yes, sir. It is a recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the first reading of policy EIC local academic achievement class ranking as presented.
With the recommendation, motion for approval. Motion made by Becky Chavez. Is there a second to the motion? Mr. Almaraz, all those in favor? Motion carries with one exception. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
yes. Human Resources 14A. Next item we have is consideration to approve the conversion of an excess teacher position to Project Lead the Way teacher position at San Felipe Memorial Middle School. Amy Childress.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. At this time, we are requesting to convert an excess teacher position. Every year, we build 5 excess teacher positions into our budget, and we are asking to convert one of those into a Project Lead the Way teacher position at San Felipe Memorial Middle School.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Amy Childress? Hearing none.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Mr. Orfield?
Since that's one of those schools that's gonna be one of the new middle schools, we don't need that teaching position with bringing in the 6th graders. I know we'll draw down bringing in our 8th and 7th grade students. I know we're gonna draw down the 6th grade, but it's not something that we need as mission critical. That excess teacher position at San Felipe Memorial.
Well, let me see if I can answer the question where it satisfies what you're asking. So right now, we have 5 extra positions that we always budget at the beginning of the year for things that come up. Because San Felipe Memorial Middle School, the model for New Tech Middle School at San Felipe Memorial is a Project Lead the Way based model, they will need an extra teaching position. We are bringing this recommendation now so that the CT department can begin to get that new teacher trained in Project Lead the Way. When it's all said and done, Del Rio Middle School, San Felipe Memorial Middle School may not need other teaching positions, and then we won't fill a vacancy in something else. But we won't know that until the registration happens.
Okay, so for A, B, and C, those 3 excess are out of that pool of 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Okay, recommendation, please.
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the conversion of an excess teacher position to Project Lead the Way teacher position at San Felipe Memorial Middle School as presented.
For the recommendation, I'll entertain a motion for approval. Mr. Overfeld, the motion. Is there a second to the motion? Amy Haynes, all those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 14B, consideration to approve the conversion of an excess teacher position to a special education teacher position at Del Rio High School. Amy Childress.
Good evening. At this time, we are needing to add a special education teacher position to the Del Rio High School. And so we would like to take, again, one of those excess positions and convert it to that position.
Now, when we do that, there's classrooms that are vacant, that are available. Is this for current year?
Yes, Mr. Mesa, they are for current year. There's plenty of classrooms throughout the district that are available, particularly at the high school. But that's not to say that the life skills teacher is going to be in a separate room by themselves. They could be part of the other cluster of life skills.
So it is a life skills, though. I'm talking about 14B.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Monica Luna's here. We can ask Ms. Luna. For 14B, the special education teacher at Del Rio High School.
The other one is in life skills, coming one.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the board. The position would be to support the campus caseloads for the teachers, the monitoring teachers for the high school caseloads. Their numbers have, they've done a lot of referrals. We have a lot of new students meeting eligibility, and it would help support the monitoring teachers, plus supporting the new classroom so that the teachers aren't monitoring an excess number of students.
So is this a standalone classroom?
No, sir.
No, life skills?
No, it will be a general ed classroom resource. It will be, they'll do, it's co-teach.
Co-teaching?
Correct.
Okay. All right,
I
thank you.
believe the next position that's going to be considered is the life skills.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? If anyone else has a question, then could you read the recommendation, please?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the conversion of an excess teacher position to a special education teacher position at Del Rio High School as presented.
For the recommendation from administration, there's a motion from Becky Chavez. Is there a second? Amy Haynes. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 14, C, consideration to approve the conversion of an excess teacher position to a special education life skills teacher position at Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary. Amy Childress.
Yes, sir. This is, again, we'd like to convert an excess teacher position. We are needing a special education life skills teacher at Dr. Lonnie Green.
Okay. Any questions for Amy? Hearing none. Recommendation?
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the conversion of an excess teacher position to a special education life skills teacher position at Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary as presented.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for approval. Motion made by Mr. Almaraz, second by Mrs. Webb. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Item 14D, consideration to approve the conversion of Secretary, Chief Human Resources Officer to Secretary, Senior Human Resources Coordinator. Amy Childress.
Good evening once again, President Mesa. With our realignment of our HR department, we had not updated the title for the secretary. And so at this time, we are asking to convert, it is still listed as the Secretary, Chief Human Resources Officer, and we would like to approve the conversion to Secretary, Senior Human Resources Coordinator.
Questions for Amy? No questions? Recommendation, please.
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the conversion of Secretary, Chief Human Resources Officer to Secretary, Senior Human Resources Coordinator as presented.
Right, the recommendation, I'll entertain a motion for approval. Motion for approval, motion made by Mrs. Webb. Is there a second to the motion? Mr. Orfeld, all those in favor? Motion is approved unanimously.
Thank you.
Item 14E, discussion possible action to approve employee job description and evaluation form. Amy Childress.
Good evening once again. As part of that realignment, now that we have converted the job title, this would be to approve the employee job description and evaluation form for the Secretary Human Resources Coordinator.
Questions for Amy? No questions. Recommendation, please.
Sir, it is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the employee job descriptions and evaluation forms as discussed.
You've heard the recommendation from administration. I'll entertain a motion for approval. Motion made by Mr. Orfeld, seconded by Mr. Almaraz. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Unanimously. Item 14F, consideration to approve the updated 2024-2025 district compensation plan. Amy Childress.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. This evening, we have one update to our compensation plan. It is on the paraprofessional pay plan. It is the pay grade 4, and it is the to add the secretary for the Senior Human Resources Coordinator.
Questions for Amy? No questions. Recommendation, please.
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the updated 2024-2025 district compensation plan as presented.
You've heard the recommendation. I'll entertain a motion for approval. Motion made by Mr. Orfeld. Second to the motion. Amy Haynes made the second. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Item 16, security. 16A, consideration to approve revision and updates to the San Felipe de OCISD Police Department Policy and Procedure Manual. Chief Jose Paz.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the board. Tonight, there's a requesting approval to make revisions and updates to our current police department policy manual. Those updates, the update will include the incorporation of 3 new policies. The first policy is hiring procedures and requirements by TICO. This policy is to establish guidelines for hiring and background investigation for all applicants of peace officers, telecommunicators, and county jailer appointments. The second policy that I need to add is policy on personnel files. This policy is to provide guidance for the compilation and retention of personnel files at the police department. And the final policy is a policy on misconduct allegations. and this policy is to establish guidelines for investigating allegations of misconduct.
Sir, are all these updates from TA?
No, sir, these updates are required by TCOL, Texas Commission of
Okay.
Law Enforcement.
Okay. So this is something new that we're adding.
Yes, sir, there are
Just
new
updates.
policies that they're requirements, but it's things that we have been doing for quite some time.
Okay. Any questions for Chief Foss? No questions. Recommendation?
It is a recommendation of administration that the Board of Trustees approve the revisions and updates to the San Felipe Del Rio CISD Police Department Policy and Procedural Manuals as presented.
For the recommendation, there's a motion from Mrs. Webb, second from Amy Haynes. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, sir. Okay, the time is 8:20 PM. We're going to go into closed session pursuant to policy 551.074 and 551.071 of the Texas Open Meetings Act. If an action is supposed to be, again, voted on, it will be voted upon reconvening to open session. We're now in executive session. Thank you. Okay, the time is 10:23. Wow. No action was taken in the executive session. We're reconvening into open session. We're down to item 18A. Consideration to approve personnel report to include the following: new hires, district vacancies, retirements, resignations. Amy Childress.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the resignations, retirements, and vacancies as discussed in closed session and the following new personnel: Carlos Orlando Rios for CTE Business Engineering teacher at San Felipe Memorial Middle School.
For the recommendation, I'll entertain a motion for approval. Motion made by Mrs. Webb, seconded by Becky Chavez. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank
Item 18B, consideration to approve the position of management assistant. Amy Childress.
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve Michael Ramirez for management assistant at Del Rio High School.
For the recommendation, is there a motion for approval? Mrs. Webb, is there a second to the motion? Mr. Orfeld, all those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Item 18C, consideration to approve the position of Senior Human Resources Coordinator. Amy Childress.
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve Monica Garcia for Senior Human Resources Coordinator at SPC Administration.
For the recommendation, is there a motion for approval? Motion made by Mr. Orfeld, seconded by Mr. Almaraz. All those in favor? Motion is approved unanimously.
Thank you.
There being no other items on the agenda, is there a motion for adjournment? Motion made by Mr. Orfeld, seconded by Mr. Almaraz. All those in favor?